There's more than a dozen protesters here on Hargett Street, right across from this bus station. I'm carrying this t-shirt to help my eyes right now. There was tear gas administered by police because nearby there's looters hitting a CVS store. I'm going to walk you through what we're seeing right now. If you take a look right over here, there's actually places for people to wash their hands if they're dealing with any type of tear gas on their hands. There's also some stations out here that protesters have set up with water to help them as they're trying to get their message across. It's very difficult to even see. A lot of people right now are trying to wash off this tear gas that they're dealing with. They're offering even water for us out here because the tear gas just came out. You can see the bus route is still happening behind us. They're still trying to go out here and protest regardless of the tear gas or not. Now, we haven't seen any police officers right here, but if you take a look over this way near this street, normally this is a really popular area downtown. There's several bars out here and restaurants. You can see the area looks to be blocked off. There's a few items in the middle of the street right now. This is as far as we can go. If you take a look at me, my eyes are already starting to well up because the tear gas is so strong out here. We know that there's a few choppers that are flying over at this time. Now, we've been talking to some protesters. They really want police officers and the government to know their feelings on this situation. We've seen some signs that say Black Lives Matter, also additional signs protesting the death of several unarmed black men. We're going to be out here all night trying to get the very latest. Reporting live in downtown Raleigh, Felicia Bolton, CBS 17 News. Here in downtown Raleigh, the CVS on Hargett and Fayetteville was hit pretty hard by looters. You can see the door is broken. There's glass everywhere. The CVS here has been almost destroyed by looters still inside, grabbing several items. Now, if you take a look outside of the building, there's several tag marks that are outside the building. Now, I have to warn you, there are a few curse words on some of these markings here, but protesters, they're screaming, no justice, no peace. A lot of signs out here say that Black Lives Matter. They're talking about the injustice happening to so many people here in our country. And most of the protesters we've seen across Raleigh, they've been pretty peaceful. Just a few moments ago, we saw tear gas administered towards the area behind me. Now, we're still out here, despite the tear gas and everything, trying to get the very latest information. We haven't seen any extreme forms of violence, but like I said before, the CVS has been hit. You can even hear the alarm still going off right now from inside of the CVS. We are still out here despite everything that's going on. Now, within the past 5 minutes, I would say there's been a few dozen more protesters that have shown up to this specific area voicing their concerns. We're going to be out here all night. We still have not seen police officers on the street. I haven't seen police officers in this area, and there's a lot that's still happening right now. Reporting in downtown Raleigh, Felicia Bolton, CBS 17 News.
Peaceful protests turned violent as looters smashed through windows and doors of downtown Raleigh stores. Dozens of people broke into businesses, stealing clothing, merchandise, and even setting fires on Salisbury Street. Some shop owners stayed and pleaded with looters to stop. Moments later, Raleigh police officers threw tear gas to break up large groups of people, destroying buildings. But other protesters maintained peace to get their point across, holding signs and chanting for justice in the George Floyd case.
This isn't the right way.
What they're doing?
It's not, no, not what they're doing is wrong. You're making a point, but committing crime is not the right way.
In the midst of chaos, Executive Director of the LGBT Center of Raleigh, Lindsay Lugis, offered help to anyone in need.
I mean, we aspire to be an actively anti-racist center, and to be an actively anti-racist center means you show up.
She, too, is peacefully protesting the death of George Floyd and other unarmed black men who've died in the U.S. Her team has set up a first aid stand offering water, hand washing stations, and food to anyone throughout the night.
I am not in a position as a white woman to tell people how they should be angry. And I mean, my hopes are that everybody stays safe, but I understand that there's some real righteous anger here.
As the looting began to intensify, her group took shelter, and the SWAT team came in to protect property. Reporting in Raleigh, Felicia Bolton, CBS 17 News.